Off caption X. The sky and rain are very welcoming, but they fight very hard. But this couple fights back harder. Off said new kind of umbrella. Nunew said umbrella, kind of umbrella. Zeepruk said we're waiting for the rain to stop, so that we'll continue shooting. The rain doesn't stop, and neither do their sweet moments. Zeepruk said Ia has given Enhu flowers and plant already. What else does Enhu want? Nunew said a car. Zeepruk said then, I'll buy you a motorcycle, I'll be the passenger, Enhu'll be the rider. Nunew said huh? Zeepruk said Ia isn't good at riding a motorcycle. Nunew said you'll buy it for Enhu and you'll also become Enhu's burden. Since Enhu likes riding motorcycle and jet ski. Does Enhu prefer a big bike? Nunew's birthday is coming up. I'm curious what gift he will give Nunew for his birthday this year. Is it like what Nunew just said? Zeepruk said the flower imprinted on my mind is lavender. I like the lavender flower's color and its benefits are for tranquility and relaxation. It represents pure love that expects nothing in return from the other one. Ah, what's Enhu's flower? What flower do you like? Nunew said Enhu likes clarity, so Enhu picks rose. Zeepruk said rose. What color? Nunew said sea. Pruk. Nunew said it's late, why are you coming to me? Zeepruk said can't I ask Khanin to draw me a picture? Nunew said what kind of picture do you want me to draw? Zeepruk said Khanin can't even draw an apple well. Zeepruk said next time, everyone would get to listen to my new single. I'm telling you, my single is even hotter/sadder than this one. I'm looking forward to Zeepruk's next single, it's sure to be a blast. Pride Flower Music. Congratulations with overall 1,300,000 post-ons. Trending 0.1 Thailand and 0.9 worldwide. What a way to celebrate Pride. ZeeNunew. It was another amazing night with these two amazing artists. Thank you for everyone who cheered at the concert and online, even from million miles away. Screenwriter fun fact, The Next Prince Episode 8. Allow me to post a throwback. The love between Churan and Khanin has gradually developed until it overflows. Both Churan and Khanin are certain that they have feelings for each other. But the obstacle that stands between them is status. We often see that Churan often talks about appropriate acts because Churan knows that it is impossible for a royalty and a commoner to be together. Churan does not dare to dream of reaching out too far. Merely thinking about being by his side is beyond his dream. The royal bodyguard can only be by his side but cannot be with him his spouse. Therefore, the word love has never left his mouth. For Khanin, with his straightforward nature, he does not want to hide his feelings and keep them hidden. Whether in front of other people or when they are alone, he clearly shows that he likes Churan. And it cannot be called love because he himself wants to give Churan the freedom to choose. Khanin understands how Churan feels, so he does not want to make Churan uncomfortable. Although he does not hide his feelings, but he does not force Churan either. Khanin thinks that he can wait for Churan, who is by his side, to dare to step in to be with him his spouse. Screenwriter fun fact, The Next Prince Episode 9. In Churan's perspective, Khanin is one who is facing being suppressed by the power. He knows what Khanin's disappointment feels like because he himself grew up with this feeling repeatedly until he himself could not bear to deceive himself either. He just chose to express it by hiding it under indifference. Churan felt sorry for Khanin because he understood this feeling better than anyone else. But, at the same time, he felt guilty because of the lies that, even though he was forced to do, he could not deny that he was the one who did it. The truth that Phithakdheva is not dead, Churan must reveal it, but there still are many things that he must carefully consider first. Not only the aspect that affects the relationship of their couple, but there also are many other effects should he reveal the truth to Khanin. At the same time, Khanin himself sees Churan as someone he can rely on all along. And he also puts all his trust in Churan. In the scene where Churan forbade Khanin from trusting him, Churan made Khanin feel confused. But certainly, he still trusts Churan 100%. I want to talk about the shift of Churan's priority ever since he met Khanin. Let's break it into a thread. Let's start from the beginning. Churan isn't just a royal guard. He was raised by the king himself, trained under duty, discipline, and absolute loyalty to Assavadevathin. As Phithakdheva clan, protecting the royal family is in his blood. His mother's final wish? That he always follow the king's commands. And for most of his life, he did. Everything begins to change when Khanin enters the palace. Khanin, who had every right to be selfish, cared for him. Khanin noticed when he was hurt, took care of him when he was bleeding, looked at him not as a tool of the crown, but as a person. For someone like Churan, who's only ever known duty, it was the first time he realized there might be something beyond it. That maybe loyalty isn't just to a kingdom, but to the one who sees you, who chooses you back. We can see this clearly from Ep 3. The king asks Churan to lie to Khanin about Tatanawi's death. But behind the king's back, Churan investigates the truth. He doesn't confront the king, but he no longer follows blindly. It's sort of the first break, a small act of rebellion for someone like Churan. I'm sure Churan still carries the weight of guilt from doing this. And for his care for Khanin, he quietly tries his best to find out about the truth and protect Tatanawi from the king. On Ep 9, when Khanin implied that you wouldn't choose me over duty, it stings Churan. But Churan doesn't deny his duty, he never did. Instead, he pleads with Khanin not to trust him completely. Because even he doesn't know if he could always keep him safe even if he wanted to. And that fear of him is personal, beyond his duty. Churan, who used to only care about sticking to his duty, now have a fear. A fear that Khanin might misunderstood him, that he had choose duty over Nin, because that's no longer the truth. Churan still does his duty. The king had tasked him to investigate the protest as well, and he delivers the report. But what he said? It shows that it's no longer the voice of a loyal guard, but a man who has started thinking for himself. The freedom of the people cannot be controlled. He's not just stating facts, it's a soft warning for the king. And the king's stunned reaction says everything. Churan, once the perfect soldier, is now standing not for him, but for Khanin. And for what's right. Here comes the balcony scene of Khanin calming himself. When Churan came, he said, "If you came to scold me, can we leave it for later?" He knows Churan is still loyal to the king. Still dutiful. And deep down, maybe he fears it will always outweigh whatever they are. Just like how he assumed Churan would still choose duty over him on the beach scene. Churan doesn't comfort him right away. Instead, he asks, "May I ask why you did it, Your Royal Highness?" He doesn't call him Nin. He doesn't speak as a lover. This is Churan, the Royal Guard, still holding the line. The next Prince series is still going strong, by which has held the title of Thai series with the highest viewership on iQIYI app for 9 consecutive weeks. The story is almost approaching its climax. What will the next episode be like? Please stay tuned.